Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. And thank you once again to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. Thank you, Miskatonic Books. Really appreciate your support. Miskatonic Books is your #1 international purveyor of esoteric books and occult books that are difficult to find. Maybe you live in the US and it's a little bit expensive to get books that have been created outside of the US shipped into the US. Miskatonic Books are based in the US and they import a load of books from around the world. Any new esoteric, kind of independent, beautifully produced, you know, the really good, lovely stuff, they have that stuff in their store. They also have a great number of difficult to find books that have been out of print for a long time. So if you've been looking for, I don't know, Azawetia by Andrew Chumbley or something like this for a very long time, or for example, Occult Zero over here, this Labyrinthus Archidoxe, which I reviewed in the very early days of my channel, then yeah, clearly Miskatonic Books is the place to go and check those very difficult to find books out. There we are. Yeah, lots and lots of people talking to me right now on Facebook and liking a post that I've made. And do you know what? Let's talk about that straight away. David Chaim Smith has just launched the 7th and final book from his latest series, the Psychoetheric Alchemy. And this has been a series of 6 books that I've just reviewed. I've reviewed the first 6 books, right? Literally right here. And if you haven't seen my review, then go and check that out. That was released on Thursday, so that's at the time that I'm talking, that's just literally a couple of minutes ago. But for many of you watching, that would have been possibly yesterday. I really recommend going to check it out because these are, I think that they're important books. You know, they're books on contemplative mysticism. In fact, yeah, as David was actually pointing out in the comments of the post that I made on Facebook, they're not even about contemplative mysticism. They are the product of contemplative mysticism and inviting the reader to engage in contemplative mysticism. Really outstanding stuff and absolutely beautiful, as you can expect from David Chaim Smith, right? And this 7th and final book, which is a little bit different from the previous ones that have come out, focuses a little bit more on practice, on actual things that you can actively do to engage in contemplative mysticism. It really seems very exciting. As I say, it's the 7th volume and the final volume in the series. So if you're hoping to wait for them all to come out, then yeah, they are now all out, and you can see all 7 of them on the books page over here, as well as a couple of books that are still available from the Lightning Flash of Aleph series, just a little bit further below. So really exciting stuff, and congratulations, David. It's really top-notch stuff. Okay, so Aula Lucis, the really extraordinary new publisher that for which I reviewed Hermetic something. If I scroll down, I'll probably find it. Here it is, Hermetic Arcanum. So I reviewed this a few months ago, and then I reviewed Astral Conversations a little bit more recently, I guess. I was very impressed with the quality of the build of both of these books, and I actually think that Hermetic Arcanum is I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely fantastic that that these kind of forgotten works and difficult to find works on Hermeticism are just being brought back into existence in these really beautiful formats. And this is the 2nd book in this Mysterium Hermeticum series. So it's the same format, just a slightly different sigil underneath the title there. But there's going to be, so just you're seeing the price in zlotys there. That's I don't know, about 40 or $50, I guess. Yeah, so you can see right here the the deluxe edition of the Hermetic Arcanum, which I showed you a couple of weeks ago, which is just so beautiful, just so beautiful. And so this new book right here, this new De Natura Rerum, on the nature of things, will also have a super deluxe edition if you would like that. But if you go and check out my review of Hermetic Arcanum, which came out a few months ago, you'll see that the standard edition, there's not much on the market right now of this kind of quality. You know, it's up there very close to the top with the top players, the Anathema Publishings and the Scarlet Imprints of this world. It's extraordinary stuff, really amazing for this kind of low price. Quite rare to see this kind of thing at this price point nowadays. Very cool, very exciting stuff in my opinion. Now, speaking of Anathema Publishing, of course, how could we not talk about the Semesilam being kickstarted? That's it. It's done. The goal has been reached. They were looking for, let's see, in Canadian dollars, they were looking for 150,000 Canadian dollars, and they just reached 152,411 Canadian dollars at the time of recording. I'm sure it's much higher than that when many of you are going to be watching this video. But yeah, very exciting stuff. There's this lovely update from Anathema Publishing, which I recommend going to check out, which is very lovely, where a sixth card, so some of the pledges will get a set of cards added to them as a bonus. Pledges numbers 4, 5, 6 and 7. I'll go into which pledges those are in a moment, but I just wanted to show you what the cards are actually going to look like right here, and they are really beautiful, absolutely beautiful, really lovely. So yeah, so this sixth one has been added to the 5 that were already on offer, which is really cool. There we go. Lovely stuff. Let's just have a look at which of the pledges, that numbers, what was it, 4, 5, 6 and 7. If we have a look at the campaign, we've got variable rewards 1, 2, 3. So I guess it's starting from 4. So if you've bought this one, then yeah, that's right. If you've bought this pledge with the paperback of IAO and the regular hardcover of Semesilam and the 2 pins, then the cards are added as well. Oh my goodness, how could I forget about this, folks? We've got also pictures of the paperback edition of IAO. Am I going to be able to find it? It's possible that it maybe not here, maybe in the updates, maybe just in an earlier update. Yes, I think so. I hope so. Yes, so we got French folded paperback edition. Gabriel from Anathema Publishing reached out to me last week saying, you said that the paperback of IAO is going to be similar to the quality of Authorize, which to me is like the height of quality for paperbacks, right? But no, far from it. It's going to be way better. So with these new French fold covers, that's already going to be a massive improvement. But the quality of the paper itself, and look, you've got this kind of it's Smith sewn, and you're going to be able to open it flat as if it was a hardcover, and you'll be able to just see all of the artwork, like no lost artwork, as in paperbacks very often you get a lot of lost artwork in the spine, right? So no, this is going to actually open properly all the way, and I think that's really exciting. And yeah, as Gabriel was saying, just very high quality paper and production levels. I'm really very excited about the whole thing. All right, let's move on. Yeah, just pointing out that they've got messages all over social media, of course. All right, let's have a look. Hekatean Press has got a new guide to the underworld. That has been written by Father Robert Nixon, OSB, who regularly contributes to this Guides to the Underworld. Guides to the Underworld are these smaller pamphlets, right? They're kind of stapled together, so much smaller, and they're £3. But you can also buy them on Kindle, so directly through Amazon. They tend to be a little bit cheaper on Kindle, of course. The Secret Pharmacopeia of Pope John the 21st, a fascinating collection of home remedies and secret cures for a wide variety of physical and emotional ailments, including baldness, insomnia, headache, pimples, gallstones, redness of the throat, nausea, coughs, toothache, sore eyes, earache, impotence, and many others, a few of which are virtually untranslatable into polite English. That does sound quite intriguing, right? I'm quite excited about this one. As you can see, it's just £1.50 for the EPUB edition. Very cool stuff. Okay, let's move on to a few more, let's say, mass market books, and Alan Moore's much awaited The Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic is now available to pre-order on Amazon. I've been talking a little bit about this as the months have been going by, and the date of publication has been getting closer and closer. I'm a big fan of Alan Moore's work, and I think that this is going to be very exciting. As you can see, he's a big fan of Aleister Crowley's work, and I think that this is going to be great. So Alan Moore and Steve Moore, the most acclaimed writer in comic history, Alan Moore joins his late mentor Steve Moore, no relation, for one last graphic grimoire, a sprawling and stunning introduction to magic in all its timeless forms, brought to life by 5 wondrous and whimsical artists. Folks, if you are not aware of Alan Moore's magical works, you know, a little bit broader than just The Watchmen, for which he's probably best known, I really recommend checking out Promethea. There's a beautiful deluxe edition of in 3 volumes called Promethea, which in my opinion is just a really nice way into magic for absolute novices. It's beautiful, it's entertaining, and it's quite a nice way of getting used to the 10 Sephirot of the Tree of Life, actually, and thereby introducing also to some of the basic concepts of the tarot and things like this. If you're just getting started, yeah, I think that reading Promethea you could do much worse than that. I know that some more advanced magicians say, yeah, it's not good enough and stuff. Well, by the time you're an advanced magician, you'll have forgotten all about this. But I think that as a starting point, I think it's a wonderful starting point and a very accessible starting point. And I'm all about accessible starting points. I think that that's important stuff to be aware of. And yeah, so I'm hoping that the Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic is going to be just more in that kind of direction, right? Splendid news for inquiring minds and guaranteed salvation for humanity. Okay, all right, let's move on to a couple of paperbacks that were pointed out to me this week by Susanna Redels. Thank you so much. Actually, Susanna pointed me to a load of paperbacks, but these are a couple that really stood out for me by Caitlin Matthews. Both of these by Caitlin Matthews. The first, King Arthur and the Goddess of the Land. I think that if anyone who's interested generally in the divine feminine and who's interested in the, let's say, Arthurian perspective or yes, slant on the divine feminine, is going to be very interested in this one, and it's specifically from the Mabinogion. So Caitlin Matthews is yeah, just a very widely appreciated author, and then her second book that also looks very interesting to me is this second one here, Sophia, Goddess of Wisdom, Bride of God. So a couple of books there that have just suddenly hit my radar, which do actually look very interesting, and I'll probably be picking them up, possibly in Kindle edition. They look quite cool. I thought maybe some of you out there might be interested in hearing about them as well. Okay, this one caught my attention. The Taoist Inner Alchemy, Master Huang Yuanji's Guide to the Way of Meditation. Fascinating guide to the mental, physical, and esoteric spiritual transformative Taoist practices designed to increase longevity and unity with the world, with commentary and interpretation on the traditional text by a contemporary academic and meditation practitioner. I think this is really very, very cool. I'll leave links to all of these down in the description, as always. All right, let's see what else we have. Secrets of Romani Fortune Telling, Divining with Tarot, Palmistry, Tea Leaves, and more. And this is something that, do you know what? Given how central the Romani community have been to magic and to the process of being custodians of magic through times when magic was frowned upon and so on, there's surprisingly little of great quality out there on the Romani magic, right? So I'm delighted to see this this paperback from October 1st. It'll be available a little bit later in the year, of course, and so shares the knowledge and personal experiences of being raised to be fortune tellers, providing tips on how to emulate the professional polish that Roma have perfected over centuries. I'm quite excited about this. I think this is going to be an important piece of work. I hope that it's done well. I don't know these authors. Let's see. Fortune telling is both a job. The authors, co-hosts of the Romanistan podcast. So it sounds like they are probably Romani, right? Share their knowledge from their own personal experience of being raised to be fortune tellers, providing tips on how to emulate the professional polish that Roma have perfected. Okay, just what we just read earlier on. Okay, yes, so that looks pretty exciting to me. On pre-order, links down below. Okay, this is a nice little shop that was brought to my attention this week. It's called logos373.com. I like the idea. I just thought that some of these items looked really nice. These black mirrors, for example, there's two versions. The ergochiron. So there's this kind of darker black mirror, and then there's a more angelic black mirror. So this one's called the hidden one. Yeah, not cheap, but yeah, clearly built with a great degree of care and love. This one's called the Ivory Face of the Abyss. It's quite beautiful, right? Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so some out of stock items. There's some. Yeah, so this is the stell of revealing. Yeah, very cool stuff. And then they've got another page with garments and robes for different traditions. They've got kind of a, various Luciferian, Golden Dawn, Hekatean, and so on, right? So yeah, possibly some nice stuff there for those of you who might be interested. What else do we have? Oh, news from the Blackthorn School. So I told you a couple of weeks ago that Jack Grail had announced that he was going to be doing PGM Praxis Part 2, The Kingdom. And so that has now launched. It looks really exciting. I'll leave links to the to the course down below, of course. But it seems like that's not all that's been launched this week. The Blackthorn School also made a second post over here saying that basically all of Jack Gwale's courses are currently open, enrolling, and available. So that includes a 9-day rite, which looks at the 9-day at the beginning of the Hekatean, Jack Gwale's book that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. Hail Hekate, in my opinion, the greatest course, the greatest magical course that that I can imagine, and I recommend it every time it comes up. PGM Praxis, 50 rites for 50 nights, also of incredible quality. These are slightly shorter videos individually, but it goes on for an entire year. So there's plenty of material there. And then, of course, the PGM Praxis Part 2, The Kingdom, which is his brand new course. So they're all enrolling right now. Couple of tarot bits to point out to you guys. I mentioned a good few months ago now that David Allen Hulse, had created some new tarot decks. Well, they are being kickstarted. So the goal has already been reached. It's already funded. But if you are hoping to pick up a copy of David Allen Hulse's new tarot Pontifex deck, then now's the time to head over to Kickstarter to back the project, just in order to get a copy. Here they are. So you can get one Arcana card. You can get a numbered set of 10 artistic postcards, and the tarot deck itself over here at €98, special price for this unique deck, instead of €120. There we are. And it comes with a poster, if I remember correctly. Two posters of the Tree of Life. So 500 numbered copies. Yeah, and stuff, and other bits that you can add on. I guess this is a picture of one of the posters. Yeah, quite nice. You can see that he's done something similar to what his good friend Lon Milo Duquette has done, just putting lots of different correspondences on the cards themselves. So that's really nice. Okay, there's this next tarot deck, which looks quite cool to me. You can see that they've done quite well. I went to quite some lengths to ensure that no AI was used in this deck. It is hand painted by a Japanese illustrator. Forgive me. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's two different decks. There's this one deck called the Silent deck, and the second one called the Awaken deck, and they're available in these 3 different formats: just the regular deck, the mini deck, and the tinned deck. Yeah, I just think that's really beautiful, right? So there's you can see the difference between the the 2 decks. Sometimes the cards are similar with just 1 or 2 differences. Sometimes the cards seem significantly different. I like this idea of having no faces on the decks. I think it was Lady Frida Harris who just hated drawing faces, and Aleister Crowley told her to just basically suck it up and just draw a face. You'll be able to do it. Just try. And she eventually did. But but her initial feeling was that yeah, she wasn't comfortable having faces on the tarot. I can maybe relate to that. I think anyway, I think that this particular deck looks absolutely beautiful, really lovely. Okay, I'll let you browse at your leisure. What else do we have? The Oracle of the Hekatean Path, which I pointed you guys to a little while back, is now on sale. So, or on sale, it's available to be purchased, right? So it went on, it became available on March 8th, and so you can pick up a copy if you're interested in the Hekatean Path. Yep, looks quite nice. Any more images we can see here? Okay. All right, you get the general idea. What else do we have? Yes, Dr. Dr. Alexander Cummins is doing a massive sale. So he's doing, I can't remember if it's 40% or if it's up to 40%, but it certainly seems to be 40% off all of his classes up until the 1st of April. So do head over to the website. So the website is, you know, it's like a long page. You'll just need to scroll down a little bit and you'll find the class bundles. And over here, there's like a little arrow to see all of the class bundles. And you'll see that there's some really exciting looking ones, right? Evil Begone Geomancy for cleansing and uncrossing. A Garden of the Gnomes, a herbal of geomantic spellcraft. Geomantic sigils for spellcraft and charm making. A Bestiary of the Gnomes, an animal heraldry of geomantic spellcraft, and so on and so forth. Lots of really cool stuff. And yeah, if I just click on any of these over here, you'll be able to see that the original price, $125, is down to $75 until the 1st of April. Good stuff. So this is a new talk by Professor Ronald Hutton that is happening on the 24th of April, and it's worth giving you guys a head up. I think it's free, if I remember correctly. You just have to enroll, right? You just have to register. They're invariably, you know, of very high quality and very exciting, these talks by Professor Hutton. And this one is going to be the Western magical tradition, quite simply. Part of magic, the supernatural, and the lost gods of Europe. And yeah, so I recommend just going over to gresham.ac.uk to enroll, and then you can watch the talk when it happens online, when it happens live. So that's 6 p.m. UK time, I expect, right? All right, and then finally, my board game of the week is one that I've already shown you guys some time ago, but the pledge manager is open. So if you would like to put in a late pledge, it's now possible to do that. This one really caught my attention, this Spirit Fire, right? It caught my attention, and you can see that it's caught many other people's attention, because it seems to be completely different from any other board game out there. It's a solo board game. But you can play with 2 or 3 players, but each person will need their own board game. But it's essentially a solo game where there's no combat. You are essentially pitting yourself in this world that's created for you through the game itself, right? So it's like to a degree, it's a little bit like a role-playing game, a solo role-playing game where you are going through various puzzles, it seems. Because it's so novel, because it's so different from anything else on the market, it's quite difficult, even for the creators to really explain what it is. But given the success and the quality of the games that the creators have previously made, I think that's the reason why so many people are very ready to trust that this is going to be amazing. It's about you. From what I understand, it's about you and how you you interact with the world, and that's essentially the arena. It's you and your emotions and your values and so on and so forth. So yes, those of you who know about the excellent board game called Vindication, and another really well received board game called Unsettled. These are huge board games, right? These are board games that have been hugely popular and that many people recognize as being one of the, some of the best board games ever made. So that's really kind of reassuring, and to hear that they're doing something quite this innovative, a journey you can make, a solo journey you can make with friends. Make your own entirely solo journey, or progress your character by yourself in your free time, then jump into a realm alongside your friends, or on game night each player will need their own character box to play. Realms can be solo or cooperative or both, with the stories and environments permanently affected by the player's choices. The idea is that it's an entire lifetime of one or more characters, if I understand correctly, and of course everything that you do during one game, completely affects not just you but the world around you, and so on and so forth. It does sound interesting, right? It just sounds different. It sounds innovative, something new, something fresh. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about this, and I thought that since the late pledge is now available once again, I thought I'd bring it to the attention of anyone who might have missed it. There we go. That's it. That's what I got for you for today. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for watching the show. If you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, the links to do that are down below. We can talk about your spiritual path. I can read your tarot, I can read your I Ching, whatever it is that you'd like to do during 1 hour of video conversation with me. If you'd like to support the channel, then of course there's the Patreon. I really appreciate everyone who is a member on the Patreon and on the YouTube memberships. Your support really means the world to me. Thank you very, very much. If you would like to support the channel in a slightly less involved way, then there's the like button down below, and I'd really appreciate anyone who clicks on the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, then make sure to click that little bell button and the subscribe button. And yeah, that's what I got for you for this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. See you very soon. Bye bye.